The Hamilton Corp boardroom fell silent as my father stood at the head of the table, his expression radiating satisfaction. The morning sunlight streamed through the floor-to-ceiling windows, illuminating the faces of our board members, all handpicked by him over the years. After careful consideration, he announced, "I've decided who will lead Hamilton Corp into the future." His eyes swept past me to rest on my younger brother, Michael. "Our nephew will be Michael Hamilton," he declared. The room erupted in polite applause. Michael stood straightening his custom suit, accepting handshakes and congratulations. I maintained my pleasant smile, the one I'd perfected over 15 years of being overlooked. "Michael has shown exceptional leadership potential," Dad continued. "His aggressive expansion strategies and bold vision are exactly what we need." I glanced down at the quarterly reports in front of me, reports showing that Michael's aggressive strategies had cost us market share in 3 key sectors. Yet no one else seemed to notice these details. They were too busy celebrating. Sarah, my brother, turned to me. "I trust you'll continue heading the research division. You've always been so thorough with the technical side of things." Before I could respond, my phone buzzed. The caller ID read, "Elena Martinez, Executive Assistant." "Excuse me," I said, stepping out into the hallway. "Yes, Hamilton." Elena's voice was crisp and professional. "The acquisition team needs final approval. Should we proceed with the purchase of Hamilton Corp's controlling shares?" I smiled, glancing back through the glass walls where my family continued their celebration. "Yes, proceed as planned. And Elena, activate Protocol Omega." "Right away, ma'am." "Vertex Enterprises will announce the acquisition in approximately 20 minutes. I returned to the boardroom just as Michael was outlining his vision for the company. "We need to think bigger, bolder, he said confidently. My phone buzzed again. Then everyone else's phones started chiming with news alerts. Dad frowned at his screen, then paled. "What is this?" he demanded. "Breaking news, it seems," I said calmly, taking my seat. "Vertex Enterprises has acquired a controlling interest in Hamilton Corporation." Michael read aloud, his voice trembling. "This has to be a mistake." "No mistake," I replied, opening my laptop. "Vertex has been quietly purchasing shares through various subsidiaries for the past 3 years. As of 9 minutes ago, we own 51% of Hamilton Corporation." Dad's eyes narrowed. The boardroom doors opened. Elena entered with a team of executives, all wearing Vertex badges. "Allow me to properly introduce myself," Elena said. "I am Sarah Hamilton, CEO of Vertex Enterprises, though you might know us better by our subsidiary brands in tech, manufacturing, and global logistics." "Impossible," Michael whispered. "You run the research division here." "Yes. But did any of you ever wonder what I did with my evenings? My weekends? The innovations I developed, yet somehow never quite implemented, at Hamilton Corporation?" I pulled up a presentation on the main screen. Vertex's portfolio, market position, and global reach, numbers that make Hamilton Corporation look like a small regional player. I continued, "While you were focused on Michael's bold vision, I was building something bigger, something better." I gestured to Elena, who distributed new organizational charts. "I own the company you never thought I could lead." The silence was deafening. Dad's face had turned an interesting shade of red. "You can't do this. We're family," he said. "Family." I laughed softly. "Like when you passed me over for promotion 5 times. Or when Michael took credit for my innovation pipeline last year." "That was different," Michael protested. "Business decisions," I interrupted. "Yes, business decisions. Vertex Enterprises is acquiring Hamilton Corp because, quite frankly, you've mismanaged it to the point of vulnerability." I nodded to Elena, who pulled up detailed financial analyses on the screens. "Your aggressive strategies have resulted in a 40% drop in market share, 3 failed product launches, 2 botched international expansions, and," I paused for effect, "a rather interesting pattern of fund allocation to personal projects." Michael's face went white. The board members started murmuring. "How long?" Dad demanded. "How long have you been planning this? Remember when you told me I lacked strategic thinking 5 years ago?" I smiled. "That was the day I founded Vertex. Every time you praised Michael's risky decisions while ignoring my warnings, I bought more shares. Every innovation you dismissed, I developed at Vertex instead. My phone buzzed again. Market alerts showing Hamilton Corp's stock soaring on news of the Vertex acquisition. Congratulations, brother, I said, turning to Michael. You're still getting a promotion today, just not here. Vertex needs a new regional sales director for our Alaska office. Alaska? He sputtered. Unless you'd prefer Siberia, I said with a raised eyebrow. I hear it's lovely there in winter. The boardroom doors opened again as more Vertex executives entered, carrying transition documents and new contracts. Now I took my father's seat at the head of the table. Let's discuss the future of Hamilton Corp under Vertex leadership. Elena, please show my father and brother to their new offices. I believe they're on the 3rd floor now. 3rd floor. Dad looked stricken. But that's middle management. Yes, I smiled. Consider it a learning opportunity, though do mind the dress code. Vertex has stricter standards than Michael's casual Fridays. As they were let out, I heard Michael asking Elena about relocation packages to Alaska. Her response, about economy-class flights and shared housing, echoed down the hallway. One more thing, I called after them. The Hamilton name comes down from this building tonight. Vertex branding goes up tomorrow. My phone lit up with messages from other family members. Mom, darling, we need to talk about this. Sister Rebecca, what have you done? Uncle James, this is outrageous. I forwarded them all to Elena with a simple instruction. Standard acquisition response template. Looking around the shell-shocked faces of my father's carefully chosen board members, I opened my laptop again. Now then, I began, let's review your positions under the new management structure. Some of you may want to update your resumes. The morning sun caught the Vertex logo on my laptop, casting a shadow across the scattered Hamilton Corporation documents on the table. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just proving them wrong. It's buying the company they thought you couldn't run. And I had bought it right out from under their oblivious noses. By afternoon, the business world was buzzing with the news. The quiet Hamilton daughter hadn't just outmaneuvered her family. She'd built a corporate giant in secret while they underestimated her. I sat in my actual office at Vertex Tower, watching workers remove the Hamilton name from our newly acquired building. Elena entered with a stack of financial reports and media requests. The markets are responding enthusiastically, she noted. Hamilton Corporation stock is up 70% since the announcement. Vertex shares are hitting new records. And the family? I asked, though I could see them through security feeds gathered in what used to be Michael's executive suite, now a standard conference room. Your father has tried calling 15 times. Michael's looking up real estate in Alaska. Apparently he thinks it's a negotiating tactic. Your mother is in the lobby insisting on her right to see her daughter. Elena paused. Should I let her up? I watched the monitors as my mother paced, her designer handbag swinging agitatedly. No, let's review the morning headlines first. Elena spread out the newspapers. Vertex reveals secret. Sarah Hamilton's corporate coup. Family shock as overlooked daughter acquires Hamilton Corp. Corporate mastermind. The silent rise of Sarah Hamilton. Vertex Enterprises. The hidden giant behind 100 brands. My phone buzzed. Michael had switched from calling to texting. Please, we can work something out. Alaska. Really? I smiled, remembering his words from last year's board meeting. Sarah's better suited for background roles. She lacks the Hamilton drive for leadership. Elena pulled up more data on her tablet. The transition teams have found some interesting irregularities in Hamilton Corp's books, particularly regarding Michael's pet projects. Document everything, I instructed. Forward it to legal and schedule a full audit of every decision he's made in the last 5 years. Already done, Elena replied. Also, your father's executive bathroom is being converted into a storage closet as requested. I smiled. Dad once told me I'd never have an executive office, let alone an executive bathroom. Now he'd have to use the common facilities 3 floors down. The intercom buzzed. Miss Hamilton, your mother is becoming insistent. I watched her on the security feed, now arguing with Vertex Security. Fine. Conference room C. Let her wait 30 minutes first. While she waited, I conducted my first official business as Hamilton Corp's new owner. Signed papers dissolving the old board, approved the new organizational structure, and authorized investigations into several of Michael's suspicious deals. Finally, I headed to conference room C, where my mother sat clutching her handbag, her perfect makeup showing signs of stress. "Sarah, darling," she stood. "This little power play has made your point. Now let's discuss this reasonably." Power play. I activated the room screens, displaying Vertex's global operations. "Mother, this isn't a tantrum. This is business, something you all claimed I never understood. Taking over the family company, moving Michael to Alaska." Actually, I checked my phone. "He's just been reassigned to our Siberian office." He had replied rather rudely to Elena's relocation memo. "Siberia?" She sank back into her chair. "Your father built this company into a vulnerable target," I finished. "While you all focused on appearances and status, I built something better. Something bigger. Want to guess how many companies Vertex owns?" She shook her head. "Over 300, I continued. "Tech startups, manufacturing plants, global logistics networks. Hamilton Corporation isn't even our largest acquisition this year." My phone buzzed again, another message from Michael. "Siberia?" He texted. "This isn't funny anymore. You know what's funny, Mother? How none of you noticed. Every time you dismissed my ideas, I implemented them at Vertex. Every time you praised Michael's failures, I bought more Hamilton shares. Every family dinner where you questioned my career choices, I was building an empire." She whispered, "We were wrong." "Yes, you were." I gestured to the screens showing live footage of the Hamilton name being removed from the building. "Now you get to watch your precious family legacy become just another subsidiary in my portfolio." The next morning, I arrived at what was now Vertex Tower to find the transformation nearly complete. The gleaming Vertex logo had replaced the Hamilton name, and employees were receiving their new corporate IDs. "Status report," I asked Elena as we rode the private elevator to my office, formerly my father's pride and joy. "Michael's flight to Siberia leaves tomorrow. Your father has been moved to his new third-floor office. He's currently arguing about the size of his cubicle. The audit team has uncovered," she checked her tablet, "17 major irregularities in the past year's books alone." The elevator opened directly into my new office suite. Through the floor-to-ceiling windows, I saw 3 other Hamilton buildings, all now sporting Vertex branding. And the media, 28 interview requests including CNBC, Bloomberg, and Forbes. "The Wall Street Journal wants to do a cover story," I said. "The Silent Queen, how Sarah Hamilton built a corporate empire in plain sight." My phone buzzed, another message from Rebecca. "They're calling an emergency family meeting. Please come." I pulled up the security feeds. The Hamilton family had gathered in what used to be the executive conference room, now a standard meeting space on the 3rd floor. The contrast between their designer suits and the mundane surroundings was deliciously ironic. "Should I have security remove them?" Lena asked. "No," I smiled. "Let's go say hello." But first I pressed a button on my desk. The meeting room screens came to life, displaying Vertex's latest acquisition numbers. The Hamilton family watched in shock as their company's name disappeared into the vast web of Vertex subsidiaries. Walking into the room, I saw the toll the past 24 hours had taken. Dad's perfect posture had crumbled. Michael's confident smirk was gone. Mother's hands couldn't stop shaking. "Family meeting," I announced, taking the head seat. Another power shift that didn't go unnoticed. "Sarah," Rebecca started, "we need to discuss this as a family." "Discuss what?" I pulled out my tablet. "How Michael's brilliant strategies lost us market share, how Dad's experienced leadership missed Vertex buying shares. Or how about we discuss this?" I projected more financial data. Michael's failed projects, Dad's outdated policies, the millions wasted on maintaining family appearances while the company faltered. "We made mistakes," Dad admitted quietly. "No," I corrected. "You made assumptions. You assumed I was weak because I was quiet. You assumed I was ineffective because I was thorough. You assumed I was content in the background because I didn't fight for the spotlight." My phone buzzed, Elena sending real-time updates. Siberian office confirmed Michael's arrival schedule. Audit team found 3 more irregularities. Your father's parking spot has been reassigned to general staff. Here's what happens next, I continued. Michael leaves for Siberia tomorrow. Dad, you'll report to the new VP of Operations. She's 28 and absolutely brilliant. Everything you claimed I wasn't. Mother, the company car service you loved has been discontinued. Welcome to public transportation. And the company, Rebecca, will be fully integrated into Vertex within 6 months. The Hamilton name will exist only in history books, a cautionary tale about underestimating the quiet ones. You're destroying Dad's legacy, Michael protested. No, I smiled. I'm building my own. While you were playing co. I paused. I built a company 10 times larger than Hamilton Corporation. While Dad dismissed my potential, I was buying his company piece by piece. While Mother lamented my lack of ambition, I was creating an empire. My phone buzzed again. The Vertex logo installation was complete on all Hamilton properties. Now I stood straightening my suit. I have a company to run. Several hundred of them, actually. Elena will show you out through the staff entrance. Of course, the executive elevator is for executives only. As I walked out, I heard Mother burst into tears and Dad trying to argue about his parking spot. But above it all, I heard the sweet sound of success. Construction crews dismantling the last traces of the Hamilton legacy while building something much bigger. My legacy. Sometimes, the best revenge isn't just taking over the family company. It's showing them that you've built something so much greater while they were busy underestimating you. And as I looked out over the city from my new office, watching the Vertex name shine on building after building, I couldn't help but smile. The quiet daughter they'd overlooked had become the queen they couldn't ignore.